Mia had lived in the Thompson house for 3 exhausting years. Not a large house, not a warm house, but a house where his mother ruled everything. Teresa, her mother-in-law, didn't simply visit. She lived with them, occupied the biggest guest room, controlled the kitchen, controlled her son, Daniel, controlled the atmosphere in every room. And after Mia gave birth by emergency C-section 5 days ago, nothing changed. She could barely stand. Her stitches burned with every movement. But in this house, she had no right to rest, not if Teresa was watching. And Teresa watched everything. The morning began with shouting. Mia stood by the crib, gently rocking their newborn daughter, Lily. She was pale, too pale, and her hands trembled. The pain medication was late again. Daniel always forgot. Suddenly, Teresa burst into the room, crossing her arms. "You didn't give birth," she snapped. "You were simply cut open, it's not the same." Mia froze. She had heard insults before, but never said so sharply, so coldly. Daniel appeared beside his mother, nodding. "Mom's guests will be here in half an hour," he said. "You need to get up and cook. They expect real lunch, not your excuses." Mia stared at him, at the man she once trusted, loved, believed in. "I had a major surgery," she whispered. "It hurts to move. I can't lift anything heavy. You need to stop acting like you're dying," he snapped. "Other women do more. Real women do more." "And real wives," Teresa added, "don't complain when their husband needs them." Mia felt the world tilt. She clutched the door frame, breathing through the pain stabbing her side. Teresa clapped her hands. "Move, the kitchen won't prepare itself." Mia felt tears burning, but she swallowed them. She always swallowed them. She walked toward the kitchen, slowly, painfully, one hand pressed to her stitches. Teresa smiled with satisfaction. Daniel didn't even look at her. The kitchen felt colder than anywhere else in the house. The counters were covered with ingredients Teresa selected. Everything had to be perfect, because her friends were coming. Mia tried to bend to take a pot from the lower cabinet. Pain shot through her abdomen like a blade. She gasped, grabbed the counter for support. Behind her, Teresa sighed loudly. "If you wanted an easy life, you should have given birth naturally. But no, when you had to choose surgery, lazy girl." "I didn't choose," Mia whispered. "The doctor said Lily's heart rate was dropping. There was no time." Teresa waved her hand dismissively. "Excuses, always excuses." Mia tried again, hands trembling, vision blurring. Daniel entered the kitchen, glanced at Mia's slow movements, and frowned. "At this rate, you won't finish anything before they arrive." "I'm trying," she whispered. "Not hard enough." He walked away, leaving her to the slicing pain that spread across her abdomen. 20 painful minutes passed. Mia had managed to cut vegetables but couldn't lift the pot to the stove. Her body simply refused. Teresa walked in and hissed, "Why aren't you done? They will be here any—" Knock, knock, knock. 3 firm knocks at the door. Teresa straightened her blouse. "They're early. Don't you dare embarrass me." Daniel rushed to open the door, plastering a smile on his face. But when the door swung open, his smile froze. Teresa's jaw dropped. Mia, from the kitchen doorway, felt her heart stutter. Because standing there was her mother. Strong, calm, eyes sharp as knives. Helen. A woman they never expected. A woman they never invited. A woman who never tolerated disrespect. Helen stepped inside without waiting for permission. Daniel stammered, "We, didn't know you were coming." "I know," Helen replied. "And that's exactly why I'm here." Her gaze swept the house, ignoring Teresa's fake smile. "Where is Mia?" "In the kitchen," Daniel muttered. Helen's eyes turned dark. "Cooking?" Teresa laughed lightly. "My guests will be here any moment. A wife should know her duties." Helen didn't answer. She walked straight to the kitchen. And the moment she saw Mia standing pale, sweating, bent over in pain, her entire body stiffened with rage. "Oh, sweetheart." Helen rushed forward, gently touching Mia's face. "You look like you're about to faint." Mia's voice broke. I'm okay. They wanted me to cook." Helen slowly turned toward the hallway. Her face had changed. Gone was the soft mother. In her place stood a storm. Helen's voice thundered through the house. Daniel and Teresa froze in the doorway. "She had major surgery 5 days ago. She has stitches. She can barely stand." Daniel attempted a defensive laugh. "She's exaggerating. My mom had a C-section too, and—" "I had 3, Helen snapped. "And none of them allowed lifting, cooking, or bending. You could kill her making her work like this." Teresa crossed her arms. We needed lunch prepared. She's a wife in this house. She has responsibilities. Helen stepped closer, her voice low and cutting. No, you have responsibilities. You live here. You invite people. You want to impress them. So you cook. Teresa's face twisted. I will not. And Mia, Helen continued, will go lie down, right now. Daniel raised his voice. She's my wife. Helen raised her chin. And she's my daughter. And unlike you, I actually care if she bleeds to death. He turned red. You can't just barge in here telling us. I can, Helen said coldly, and I am. Helen guided Mia to her bedroom, helped her lie down, checked her stitches. Mia trembled. Mom, they'll be angry. Helen stroked her hair. Let them. They've been angry for 3 years, nothing new. Downstairs, Teresa and Daniel were whispering angrily. Helen overheard them when she stepped into the hallway. Teresa hissed. She's weak. If she leaves now, she'll come crawling back. Women like her don't survive alone. Daniel murmured. She better stay. I'm not raising a baby alone. She just needs discipline. Helen walked down one step, then another. Her voice sliced through the air. So that's how you see her, a maid, a servant. Not a wife, not a mother, just someone to control. Daniel jumped. We didn't mean. You meant every word, Helen said. And I heard enough. She walked back upstairs. Mia, pack your things. Mia froze. Mom, what? You're coming home with me. Daniel exploded. You can't take her. She belongs with her husband. Helen turned slowly. She doesn't belong to anyone. She's a human being, and she's leaving this house. Teresa shouted, Over my dead body. Helen smiled coldly. Careful, your guests might hear you screaming. And as if on cue, the doorbell rang again. Teresa's friends. Arriving for the lunch Mia was supposed to cook. Teresa panicked. This is all because of you, she shrieked at Mia. But Helen stepped between them. You will not raise your voice at my daughter again. Daniel tried a different tactic. Mia, if you leave now, you'll regret it. Think about Lily. Think about our family. Mia looked at him. And she saw the truth. There was no family. There was duty, obligation, pain, control. She whispered, I did think about Lily, and I don't want her to grow up thinking this is normal. Daniel paled. Mia, she shook her head. I'm done. Helen packed the essentials. Clothes, documents, baby things, Mia's medication. Daniel followed them from room to room, pleading, yelling, bargaining. It was just one lunch. It was never just one lunch, Mia said quietly. You're overreacting. She pointed to her stitched stomach. I'm bleeding because of you. Daniel's mouth opened, then closed. He had no answer. Teresa tried one last time. If you leave now, don't expect to return. Mia paused at the doorway. For the first time, she whispered. That actually sounds like a promise. And then she stepped out, into the cold air, into her mother's waiting embrace, into freedom. At her mother's home, Mia finally slept without fear. Doctors checked her stitches. She got real food, real rest, real comfort. Days later, when she felt strong enough, she made the final decision. She signed the papers. Divorce. In the courthouse hallway, Daniel looked destroyed. You're really doing this? He whispered. Mia held Lily closer. Yes. Can't we fix it? She met his eyes. You never saw me as a partner. You never treated me like someone you loved. You treated me like a servant. And your mother treated me like trash. Daniel's shoulders collapsed. I didn't know you felt that way. You didn't care to know. And then she walked away. This time she didn't look back. A month later, Mia smiled for the first time in a long while. She held Lily in her arms, rocked her gently, and whispered, You will never grow up thinking pain is normal. You will never see your mother suffer silently. We are safe now. We are free. And somewhere miles away in the house filled with control and bitterness, Teresa celebrated nothing. Her guests stopped visiting. The house felt colder, and Daniel realized far too late. He hadn't lost a wife. He had lost the only person who ever truly loved him.